Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yesterday, we saw US market continue its decline after Wednesday steep downfall. US market continued to show some decline on Thursday, but today morning futures and even Asian markets are also seeing positive sign, mainly on account of China. Central bank has reduced long-term lending rate by 0.15%. The expectation was that it will reduce by 0.05 to 10 basis point. But the increase is larger, and that is having positive impact on Asian market. Asian markets are up by around 100 to 150 percentage across the board. Even if we see the commodities are also seeing positive sign. Though oil is at around 111, yesterday same time it was at around $110. But aluminum today morning in China is up by around 1.6%. Copper is up by around 1.5%. Then iron ore is up by around 3% and steel is up by around 2%. So all these will have some positive impact on Indian market also in today's trade. I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yes, sir. Sir, today derivative team will start. There is some issue with the technical team Zoom ID. So, as per derivatives data front, we are seeing that as I mentioned in yesterday's trading session that Nifty is likely to remain in the range of 15,700 to 16,400 level. And basically, we have witnessed that once the Nifty broke yesterday 15,900 level, the pressure increased in the market. While PCROI yesterday gave closed at 0.71 level, and as per the OI positions, as we are seeing in yesterday's trading session, current scenario as per the OI position is like we are seeing that from 15,800 to 16,000 strike call writer positions are getting added up. While on the downside, we are seeing that the put writer positions are also getting added up between 15,800 to 15,600 strike. So current scenario as per the OI position and PCR OI, we are expecting that PC Nifty is likely to take the support at 15,700 level. Once if Nifty manages to take support around 15,700 level, and is today's trading session, if Nifty manages to give close about 16,100 level, which I mentioned in yesterday level also session also, that once if Nifty goes about 16,100 level, then possible pullback would be till 16,400 level. So current scenario as per today's trading session, once if Nifty manages to give and get stable over 16,100, then only create new long positions, and the whomsoever holding long positions should hold with the support of 15,700 level. As we are witnessing that India VIX yesterday again got increased by 10%, which gave closing around 24.50 levels. So currently India VIX is also facing a cluster of resistance on the upper hand, while we are seeing that once India VIX coming around 24 to 25 level, it is again coming cool off between 20 levels. So currently till the time India VIX is not going below 18 level, till that point of time we might witness a heavy volatility in the market. So hold your long position with the strict stop losses. As per stock specific, we expect Bajaj Auto and SRF. These two counter looks positive for next 1 to 2 trading session. Thank you. Technical team can carry on.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. Good morning, all of you. Yesterday we already talked that Nifty facing upside resistance around 16,400 and support place around 15,800, 15,900 at downside. Today we expect gap up open and remain a positive during the day. Upside next immediate resistance place around 16,000 and above 16,000, then 16,150, 16,180 in upside. And downside immediate support place around 15,900. If Nifty managed to sustain 16,000 and above range, then we expect further momentum towards 16,200 and above range. Bank Nifty also trading near the support zone. Support at place around 33,100. If Bank Nifty managed to sustain this level and again close above 33,700 level, then we expect positive momentum towards 35,000 and 34,735,000 in upside, and support place 33,000 and 32,780 in downside. Nifty Finance also trading near the support zone. First immediate support place around 15,080 and 15,000, and resistant intraday resistant phase is 15,200, and above 15,200 next immediate resistant place 15,270, 15,350 in upside. Today also IT index also trading oversold zone. We expect some bounce back in IT sector also. Infosys, TCS at lower side, and Tech Mahindra. And ITC looks positive at current level. You can buy ITC at current level also. We upside target in 290 and 92 and upside, and support place around 268, 270 at downside. That's it for technical fundamental ranking.
Good morning. The banking system credit growth for the period ended May 6. So on year-on-year basis, the growth has continued to accelerate. It is at 10.8%, and total system credit stands at 1,20,000 crores. In the previous fortnight, this figure was 10.1% growth. So acceleration continues. So the system credit has entered the double-digit growth mark after a period of 3 years, so which is encouraging. And in the fortnight ended May 6th, the incremental credit to deposit ratio was at 126%, indicating that incremental credit growth is faster than the incremental deposit growth. Due to this, banks have started raising rates on term deposits to mobilize funding to meet increased demand for credit. There was news on Equita Small Finance Bank that the MD, Mr. Vasudevan, he wishes to resign to pursue some social service goals of his own, but he will remain the CEO and MD till succession and the transition process is completed, and board would be forming a search committee to undertake the process of identifying a successor. We say that this news is neutral and not negative because we noticed that during tough economic periods of demon, GST, and now COVID, the performance of the bank was below average compared to other banks in similar banks or NBFCs in similar segments like vehicle financing and SME lending space. Their slippages and credit cost has been consistently higher than peers over last 6 years, and thus we feel that the change could be a welcome one. Bharat Bijli result was okay. Revenue grew by 20% year on year. However, raw material cost increased by 350 basis points from normal levels, thereby impacting EBITDA margins, which came at 4% against year on year 5%, and sequentially it was at 8%. So profits declined both quarter on quarter and year on year basis. Suryodaya Small Finance Bank result declined. The performance was bad on all parameters, and since listing every quarter has been a disappointing one. Its business model is similar to that of Ujjivan, where MFI is around 70 to 75% of the total loans, and GNPA here increased to 11.8% compared to 10.5% in December, and net NPA is at high levels of 6% against 5.6 in December. Whereas on the industry side, we have seen a trend where all MFI players are showing a good improvement. So clearly, one should avoid the Suryodaya Small Finance Bank. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Container Corporation has posted its result yesterday. The company has posted below expectation numbers for the quarter, majorly on the profitability one front. Revenue came in at 2043 crores versus expectation of 2096 crores. However, EBITDA came in at 412 crores versus expectation of 495 crores. Stock is trading at 24.7 times FY23 EPS. Automobile has posted declined set of numbers both on the revenue and the profitability front for the quarter. Revenue declined by 4.6% Q on Q. EBITDA margins came in at 6.8% versus QOQ of 10%. Stock is trading at 55.9 times TTM EPS. E-Mudra IPO is opening today. The issue price is rupees 243 to 256. The company is offering fresh issue of rupees 161 crores and offer for sale of rupees 251 crores. Incorporated in 2008, promoted by Mr. Venkatraman Srinivasan. The company is a one-stop shop player in secure digital transformation to provide wide spectrum of services and solutions from issuance of certificates as a certifying authority to offering identity authentication and signing solutions. The company is the largest licensed certifying authority in India with market share of 37.9% in the digital signature certificates as of March, as of FY21. Over FY19 to 21, the revenue grew at a CAGR of 13.88%. However, 9-month FY22 analyzed revenue grew by 39%. Even EBITDA margins for 9 months has improved to 35.9% versus FY21 of 30.3 crore. FCFF of the company stands at rupees 20.1 crores versus last year of 0.4 crore. However, the upper given price band of rupees 256, E-Mudra is offered at PE of 48.5 times annualized FY22 EPS, which we feel is expensive. We recommend avoid to the issue. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. JK Lakshmi Cement had its con call yesterday, wherein the management indicated that during the month of April, demand was lower year on year due to a delay in harvest season. It was also impacted due to the heat wave in the North India. However, the demand has picked up and it will continue to be robust till the end of June before the monsoons kick in. On the cost front, power and fuel cost for Q4 was lower as the company benefited from the 10 megawatt WHRS plant, which was commissioned during this quarter. The company also increased its alternate fuel to 14% as compared to 10% quarter on quarter. Going forward, the company will have to utilize its high cost inventory. The coal price of this inventory is around $400, which is up by 25%. On an average, the company's fuel cost will be higher by 7 to 8% in Q1. Other expense was lower due to lower fixed cost and lower spent on advertisement. We are neutral on this company. Thank you.
Good morning. So Ashok Leyland announced its result. The result was ahead of expectation. Revenue came in at 8,744 crores versus an expectation of 7,916 crore, which grew by 58% on a sequential basis and 25% on a YOY basis. The volume for the quarter stood at 48,719 units versus 34,077 units on a sequential basis and 44,060 units on a YOY basis. EBITDA margin came in at 8.9% versus an expectation of 7% as against 4% QOQ and 7.6% on a YOY basis. The truck market share for Ashok Leyland improved to 30.6% versus 28.9% on a YOY basis. This is the highest market share gain seen by the company in the last 11 quarters. This performance was backed by successful AVTR range. The Q4 MHCV and LCV exports stood at 4,173, growing by 32% on a YOY basis. We will get to know more details in its con call, which is scheduled at 10 a.m. today. The stock is trading at a PE of 33.6 times FY23 EPS. Bosch Limited announced its results. The results were in line with expectation. Revenue came in at 3,311 crore versus an expectation of 3,357 crores, which grew by 6.5% on a sequential basis and 2.9% on a YOY basis. EBITDA margin came in at 13.2% versus an expectation of 13.1% as against 11.5% on a QOQ basis and 19.2% on a YOY basis. The management's outlook for Bosch is that Bosch is investing in hydrogen-based technologies both for mobility and stationary applications. The company is in discussion with customers and partners in India to bring advanced hydrogen-based powertrain and fuel cell technologies to the market. The company also said that it was working towards pilot deployment of hydrogen-based vehicles by 2025 and 26 in India and would invest approximately 500 million euros globally in this area to develop components for hydrogen electrolysis. The board of directors of the company recommended a final dividend of rupees 210 per share that includes a special dividend of rupees 100. The stock is trading at a PE of 26.7 times FY23 EPS. Endurance Technologies announced its results. The results was ahead of expectation. Revenue came in at 2,079 crore versus an expectation of 1,883 crore, which grew by 10% on a QOQ basis but declined by 2.5% on a YOY basis. EBITDA margin came in at 12.4% versus an expectation of 10.6% from 10.8% on a QOQ basis but was lower from 15.6% on a YOY basis. In FY22, there was a rebound in demand for commercial vehicles, passenger vehicles, and three-wheelers. Volumes of vehicles across segments were impacted by semiconductor shortages. The company has decided to broaden its portfolio through technology transfer agreements, acquisition, and internal R&D. The company has entered into agreements with Ion Exchange Inc. for acquisition of 100% stake in Maxwell Energy Services Private Limited, Ion's advanced electronics subsidiary with significant presence in BMS. This all-cash deal involves initial subscription and share purchase, leading to Endurance holding 51% stake in Maxwell by investing 135 crores subject to customary adjustments and fulfillment of conditions precedent. This transaction is subject to customary conditions and is expected to be consummated in a few weeks. The stock is trading at a PE of 22.9 times FY23 EPS. Thank you.
Yeah, apart from this, few more results. Yesterday, Dr. Reddy announced results, and the results was ahead of expectations. And the outlook for Dr. Reddy seems quite positive, and will become more of a better than all other large cap pharma company. They got multiple launch in the coming year, which will help them to grow faster than the other players. Then the Lincoln Pharma came up with the numbers, and the numbers were declining. Q4 generally is very soft for them. In that, revenue came higher at 102 crores, up by around 28% year on year, which we feel is positive. But they got some impact on account of increasing raw material prices. At such, gross margin declined and EBITDA margin also declined year on year to 17% versus last year 19.2%. We feel that this is being a softer quarter. Company was not having much pricing power to pass on the cost, but going forward, if the prices are passed on, then the stock looks attractive at current level. Mainly considering that the company has a debt-free balance sheet and has a cash of around 100 crores. The total market cap is at around 600 and around less than 600 crores. Then apart from that, the stock is available at around 9 times FY22 earnings. So the stock looks attractive, considering that the coming period, because of the acquisition of ciprofloxacin, the growth prospects are comparatively better. Then alkyl amines came up with the numbers, and the numbers were declining, though Balaji amines came up with good number, but alkyl amines has not shown the similar trend. It shows a declining set of numbers in this quarter. Godrej Consumer Product came up with the number, and numbers were below expectation, mainly got impacted by gross margin. And the company has not reduced its other expenses and continue to invest for the growth in the futures. Specifically on the sales and ad spend, which continue to remain high as compared to last year. Uh, and company's result was also impacted by poor performance in Indonesian subsidiary. But company management is looking to do quite a few innovations in the current year in the with the new management taking charge of the company. Management has indicated that this will take some time to get fructify, and first half will be soft for the company, and even Q1 will further have an impact on the margins because of the high prices of the commodity. Then Camlin Finechem also came up with a declining set of number, mainly on account of increasing raw material cost. We are seeing most of the companies are seeing higher raw material cost on account of the high commodity chemical prices. And one of the cases with Camlin Finechem also, wherein the margin came off sharply from 14.5% last quarter to just 6.3% in this quarter. Chambal Fertilizer came up with the number, and numbers were marginally ahead of expectations. Then Hindustan Petroleum came up with the number, and the numbers were below expectation, like what we had seen for the IOC. The similar is the case with Hindustan Petroleum, mainly on account of marketing margin which they are losing, whereas refining margin continue to remain strong. But whatever the gain is in there in the refining margin is been lost in marketing because the company is incurring as current point of time full price is not yet passed on, so will is having impact on the profitability in the marketing businesses. Then Novartis India declared result which was declining in this quarter. Then Transpay came up with the numbers, and the numbers were declining mainly because of the lower sales. The sales came down sharply to 142 crore versus last quarter 180 crores. And gross margin also came down from 47% to 44%. But Transpay generally has a contract for pass through in a quarter. So whatever the cost which has increased will be passed on to the customer in this current quarter and will be neutralized. So quite possible that the coming quarter they may see some bounce back in this quarterly results. So if we see sharp correction on account of this result in the Transpay industry share prices, then one can look at buying that stock. TGV Sarak, that is a caustic soda company. All caustic soda company has reported excellent result, and similar is the case with TGV Sarak also. But the things are known that the result will be very good, as we had seen in the case of other companies. So quite possible we may see some profit booking at the higher level in this stock. Then Prince Pipe and Fitting came up with the number, and number came ahead of expectation. We had seen other pipe companies are not reporting or reporting number below expectation, but Prince Pipe has maintained its trend of reporting better than peer numbers. So the volume grew by 6.7%, whereas the revenue grew by 18%. The 10% increase is on account of margin. On account of price, EBITDA margin came in at 15.6% against expectation of 15%, and stock is trading at around 27.7 times FY23 P. So long term, we are positive on Prince Pipe and Fitting. Today morning, another news is that the Indonesian government is removing the export ban on palm oil. So that is positive for various FMCG companies. Then result for next Tuesday. So Aster DM is likely to report number. That is a hospital company having presence in India and Middle East, and the result is likely to show improvement. Then Balrampur Chini is likely to report number. Here again, we had seen that most of the sugar companies are reporting better number. So quite possible here again, the numbers can be good. Then Bayer Crop Science is likely to report number. Here again, numbers are likely to show improvement, though the revenue is likely to grow by around 13% year on year, but EBITDA is likely to grow by around 23% year on year. E-Clerks is likely to report number, and numbers are expected to show declining trend as revenue growth is expected at around 1.8%, whereas we had seen most of the company have declared revenue growth of anywhere between 3.5 to 5% in this quarter. Globus Spirit is likely to report number. Here numbers are expected to be good, mainly on account of another one more plant starting, and last quarter they had a problem in one of their plant of flooding, which is getting resolved, and there again the production will be increasing. So here we expect them to report the highest PAT in this quarter in last many quarters. Grasim industry is likely to report number, and the numbers are expected to be more of a declining, wherein quarter on quarter margins are expected to come off from 15.9% to 14.1%, and the revenue is likely to grow by around 10% year on year. Gujarat Alkali, again caustic soda company, is likely to report good numbers in this quarter. Indian Metal and Ferroalloy is also likely to report better number in this quarter on account of continuous higher ferrochrome prices, though coking coal prices has increased, but the ferrochrome prices increase will be higher and volume will be higher in this quarter, which will offset the increase in coking coal prices. IPCA Lab result is likely to show declining trend with revenue decline of around 10% year on year and EBITDA decline of around 19% year on year. Then Jyoti Laboratory is likely to report number wherein results are expected to be more of a flattish. Revenue is likely to grow by around 8.8% year on year, and margin will see some pressure both year on year and quarter on quarter. Then Metropolis Healthcare is likely to report a declining set of numbers wherein revenues are likely to decline by likely to increase by 14%, but EBITDA margin is likely to show declining trend in this quarter. Minda Industries is likely to report okay set of numbers. Q1Q revenue is likely to increase by around 8% and EBITDA is likely to increase by around 5%. Then MTAR Technology, that is New Age Hydrogen Technology Company, is likely to report improved set of number. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.